What was the thing? Brian Jacks buys a computer. Do you remember that? Do you remember Brian Jacks buys a computer? How dare you? You're very close to a timeout. Oh, there's a follow-up. Do you remember we watched Brian Jacks buying a computer? Right. Well, there's a follow-up to it. Let's get to the follow-up.
And you may remember that we...
Leslie Judd driving through space.
We've been following the fortunes of superstar Brian Jacks, who bought an Atari Micro for himself and his family a few months ago.
What game is that? It's not Donkey Kong. Is that Space Panic?
Well, we've been back to see how he's been getting on with it.
Okay. Well, do you remember we watched this? I'm not going to watch it again. It's not worth watching again, but...
Oh, no.
He bought so the whole thing was...
You can hear that the computer...
The thing, what it was, is he spent ages choosing a computer, and then he chose a really crap one. A really crap one.
Which was actually reloading at the moment, and we've...
He bought the Atari 800.
Put Jungle's Rainbow in, which is a...
Is that where they got the idea for Saw? Dave, be my guest along with Catherine. Be my guest. I'm assuming I can get 2 guests in. I would have thought so.
Children's game, and it teaches the child above and below. It's actually reloading at the moment, and we've put Jungle's Rainbow in, which is a children's game, and it teaches the child above and below.
It's a children's game that teaches the child above and below. What the?
But I set the thing up once, loaded the program, it went through onto the screen, and I pressed the wrong button on the computer, and we had to start again.
I'll do my best, David. Heaven and hell, you're right, Gafford, it could be. There's some biblical games and
Here we are. It's just loaded up now. Right, come let's have a look at this one. You've had a go at this one before, so...
So what we're going to do, we're going to this game is going to teach you above and below. And if you notice, I didn't move my hands then. Because it's not up for me to teach you above and... Oh, shit.
Basically, I think it's a fairly good game, but the only problem is that all it really teaches the child is above and below.
It doesn't even do left and right. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. So it's called Juggler's Rainbow. Okay.
And left and right.
It does do left and right. It didn't tell us that at the start. Doesn't do diagonals.
I mean, the Atari graphics are fabulous, but if you look at the price of it, for instance, it's £23.
£23 to learn up and above and below. We don't know if it's up and down.
I would believe it's an exorbitant price to pay for that kind of tape.
What the fuck has he put on there? What the hell has he got on that keyboard? Oh, we've come right in with a great start. I'm assuming that comes with the game, and it renders some of the keys unusable. Oh no, don't tell me the game is. Maybe. No. Gatford, listen, we could all be dead tomorrow. Get a roast dinner delivered. Seriously, do it. Do it. You'll enjoy it. Live. So, are we going above that line? Below? Is that what this is?
Underneath the line. to pay for. It's £23. I would believe it's an exorbitant price to pay for that kind of tape. That's underneath the line. It's going to go down there. Look.
Ooh, baby. That is not a good game, is it? Juggler's Rainbow. Jugglers is. It wasn't even Jugglers, it was Juggles.
Julie, on the other hand, is doing very well with the Atari Writer.
She's a model, you know what I mean, and she shakes a little tush on the catwalk. Yeah, on the catwalk. On the catwalk. She shakes a little tush on the catwalk. What was she doing? I wasn't
Julie,
listening.
on the other hand, is doing very well with the Atari Writer.
Atari Writer.
I found it a little bit difficult at
That's campus. That's college campus, I think.
first. So a friend advised me to go to Orpington College, and they were very helpful there. Apparently,
This is great, man. This is absolutely great. Great.
they do courses for mothers during the day, whose children are at school.
They do courses for mothers. Can I sign? No. Are you you look like a dad. Now, this is 1985, okay? So, you look like a man. I can say that. A woman goes in. Can I sign up for the course? Yeah, of course you can. Sit down. Oh, sorry. You're a mum, right? No, I can't. I can't have children. You can't have this course, I'm afraid. It's for mothers.
Mrs. Coles, one of the teachers at the college, was able to show me how to use the word process.
My mum went to college when I was 10, 1983. I have no idea what... I know she learnt shorthand and typing and secretarial skills, but I have no idea what that was like for her, and she won't remember if I asked her. There's a few pictures of it.
And she gave me some of her time, and we went through it all, and I was very impressed.
All dead now.
No, so delete a word, take your cursor back to the T.
Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny what we didn't know that we now take for granted?
And here we have delete word.
Delete word. And then I just carry on as
You
normal.
just carry on typing.
Lovely.
Yeah, now he's on it. What is that, an 800 or an 800 XL or something?
I've played around quite a lot with a lot of the games, and also with a lot of the educational programs. And if you look at the Atari logo, you put the cartridge in the top of the machine. The thing comes up, and all you've got is just 2 or 3 lines, and then you have to sit there and sift through a massive, great book, and try to work out where you go from there. It's okay if you understand a bit about the language.
Buyer's remorse that's what buyer's remorse looks and sounds like.
Which I don't, so it took me a long time. I spent about 4 hours last night trying to get the bug onto the screen to make it look a square.
He spent 4 hours trying to get that bug on the screen.
It is rather difficult for somebody who hasn't actually learnt any of the basic before. However, Julie's getting on very, very well with the Atari Writer. There are certain things on the Atari Writer that are very easy. The graphics on the screen, the actual writing, changing the paragraphs and so on. The only thing we found...
Dear Brian, as you can see, this letter on my computer, instead I'm breaking. She's writing a letter to her husband, who she lives with.
is that in using the cassette here, it takes a long time, to load the program, and if we'd like to save anything, any of the letters she types or anything like this, then it's such a long process. So
He hasn't got a printer.
I think we really need a disk drive unit which we can save on and run the thing much quicker on. So Julie's going to get one for Christmas.
Julie's going to get a disc drive unit
Sainsbury's.
for Christmas.
We made
Julie is being spoiled. And that was the end. It's Brian Jacks in Thailand. Oh,
Interview with a person that I met and admired for a long time through boxing.
right.
He became world champion, he's become a famous actor.
okay. So that was Brian Jacks buying a computer. Jimmy White and Brian Jacks. Brian Jacks, This Is Your Life. Dojo. Sensei, Dojo. Yes. Eamon Andrews dressed up in a gi.
This is your life. This is London Judo Society's HQ. And
You've been followed, mate.
we're on our way, hoping to come to grips with someone who, when he wasn't much younger than these boys and girls here, suffered crippling illnesses and a very serious operation. Yet
They're all dead now.
today, he's a super sporting star. Now, these boys and girls are, in fact, members of the judo club he runs in London's East End voluntarily. And at this very moment, he's just beyond here, preparing a demonstration for his television program, which he presents called Ace. And his opponent in that demonstration, who's in on our secret, is in fact Prince Vulton of the latest Flash Gordon film.
Who was Prince Vulton? Who played Prince Vulton?
But we know him better as Brian Blessed, the actor.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Actor. Now, if we get right up here,
He's wrestling Billy Bullshit.
so Brian is helping us, so quick as a flash, you add a further distraction while I pop around here and get to another entrance. All right? Now, let's see what happens.
Imagine Eamon Andrews approaches it from the back, and Brian is so tuned in. Do you come here often?
Brian, this unscheduled interruption to your program
I don't believe it.
is so that I can
Oh,
say,
thanks.
Ace
Nice one, Dave.
sportsman, Britain and European superstar tonight, Brian Jacks.
Oh,
This
crikey.
is your life.
I'll kill my manager.
I'm glad it's not me. I was terrified walking in.
Oh, thanks for coming also, man. It's lovely.
Where's Brian Blessed? Thank you, Brian. You're still in one piece.
Look at young Brian still looking old.
Well, I think we have a few more surprises that will maybe floor you a bit back at the theatre.
Now I understand that stuff. I mean,
Notice Brian is completely out of breath. Blessed. Jax, nothing. She's nothing to him.
I'm exhausted.
And you're all invited back to the theatre as well, of course, and see what surprises we have in store for Well done.
Brian's off to... Blessed is off to deliver a baby in Hyde Park. All dead. All dead. Yes. He's a proper celebrity. You'd hate it when they had like a soldier on or something. Ba-dum, bam. Reserved. These seats are reserved. Poor kids. Got to do it in their gi.
Well, we certainly caught him on the hop, if not exactly on the mat. But right away, my thanks again, of course, for help from your old pal, Brian Blessed. Now, I know...
How old? What year is this? What year is this? Because I want to know how old Blessed was. Right, let's... Let me have a look. What year was Brian Jacks on This Is Your Life? 1981. When was Brian Blessed born? 1936. Calculator. 1981 minus 1936. 45. 45. What a young man. You watched the Christopher Lee, This Is Your Life. Maybe this is... I'm looking for something to watch, right? So, we watch... Catherine and I watch El Dorado every week. And it's torturous. And I'm kind of enjoying doing these streams. A little bit of gaming. I'll try Sega Rally in a bit. And I'm thinking, is there something I can watch? And maybe This Is Your Life might be it. Let's see. I mean, this may be utter shite.
That you first came to grips on the judo mat in the early 60s when you became famous as Fancy Smith in that award-winning police series Z Cars.
Yes, that's right. I mean, we first met at the judo choir on Orange Street, and...
So the voice he speaks in now is an affectation. Yes, that's right, Eamon. We first met in 1963.
Yeah, we first met in 1963 at a Bumba Monkey.
Brian was a fantastic teacher. He was a constant inspiration to us all. I think the marvellous thing about Brian is that he does so much wonderful work for young people in judo and elsewhere, and I think this is so important today, and it's a great privilege to be with him on this programme now.
Thank you very much.
Nah.
Those children, in fact, you've got some 150 children at the moment. You couldn't believe they kept a secret.
I'm going to kill them all.
He just said he's going to kill 150.
And that's where we met them, where in fact you began your own judo career. This is your life, Brian Jackson. Despite being floored by ill health as a youngster, you recovered from a crucial operation to dedicate yourself to becoming known.
I would love to buy someone's This Is Your Life book, because you never see them around. None on eBay.
Less than...
Are there any on eBay? You'd think like some hard-up celeb or their widow would put one on. This Is Your Life TV show. Gold pendant. Oh, that gold pendant picture locket. This Is Your Life booklet. Red book. Oh, there's a book about the book. There's a book about the book. There's a book about the book. This Is Your Life autographs. There's a book about the book. No. No one has had the decency to put one on sale.
Super fit. You've won not once, but twice, the superstar title against the cream of British sporting talent. Here you are in 1979.
Yeah, but that's on his TV show, Superstars. It's not the Olympics. So he beat some other people on a TV show. It's like me saying, I'm one of the brainiest people in the world because I won an episode of Mastermind, which I did. Georgie! Hello, Georgie. My mate Ghost wrote Blessed's autobiography. He is a force o' nature, isn't he? Isn't he?
First, it's paddle power and great technique as well in the canoeing.
Great. One thing I've often thought about Brian Jacks, he's got great canoeing technique. Who's this dude?
First, it's paddle power and great technique as well in the canoeing.
Right, look at this dude. Come on.
Next, pedal power, burning up the cycle track. Still full of bounce in the basketball test of skill.
Doing a poo.
And look at this for sheer mind and muscle determination in the weightlifting.
That was the thing. No, show more of that, because there used to be a game. There used to be a computer game, Brian Jack Superstar Challenge, and that was one of them. I don't even know what that is, because you don't see that anymore. That was one of them. Georgie says, Brian Blessed greeted my friend at the door with an enormous bear hug and said, "Let's try the fucking book."
The Jack speciality, the arm dips.
The arm dips. Before I serve the meal this evening, would anyone like some arm dips?
The superstar title in your sights and your bang.
He beat Thompson. He beat Daley Thompson. Good. Nah.
And when you took that title, Brian, no one applauded you more than the men who know firsthand the sheer determination that's needed. Of course, I mean your fellow competitors, and they're here, top stars, every one. World water ski champion Mike Hazelwood.
I'm expecting 4 moustaches.
Olympic oarsman Tim Crooks.
Let's see the faces. No moustache.
Player of the year, Steve Ascender. And former
No.
European boxing
No moustaches.
champion Dave Boy Green.
Big round of applause for Dave Boy Green. Yeah, Kevin Keegan got really badly injured, didn't he, on Superstars? Should we have a little look? He got really badly injured. Kevin Keegan, Superstars injury. Here we go, let's have this.
Keegan on the inside. Van Bint's the other soccer player, and Keegan wobbling a little bit there at the start. Trying to put a
Keegan
lot
on
of
the
pressure
right.
on. He's wobbling all over the track. Van Bint
And that is not, those are those tracks that had like grit on it.
is just about a half a wheel up at the moment, and Keegan's still wobbling, coming to the first bend, and Van Bint comes across, and Keegan's gone. Keegan touched the back wheel, and he's gone across the track on his back. Covered in dust, that is
Is that TOS? It's close, isn't it?
a terrible crash. Right across the track on his back, Keegan off, and that's an awful crash. He's up.
Oh, his back's raw. Have you ever watched Danny LaRue's This Is Your Life? Everyone comes out and tells him he's a true professional. Everybody loves him. I bet he's a bastard. Would I be right? Or am I being disingenuous? Maybe we watch This Is Your Life. Maybe this is the thing.
He looks to be all right. Ron Pickering's down there.
No? All right, Kevin. Come right across the front. Kevin? Yeah, I'm okay. Sure? Just shaking?
What's that sort of orange drink they used to drink?
Nothing worse. Just stay there, see if anywhere it.
Hell of a bump, wasn't
That's fine. Yeah, well...
Is that great?
It's just on the side, you know?
It's not that bad, is it?
It's okay, I'm okay.
It's like he's doing that thing when you fall over and your mum comes, "You're right. Come here. Come and let me give you." I'm okay.
Just stay.
In fact, I did that to Catherine the other day. We went out. I took her daughter record shopping, and then Catherine and her other daughter met us for some food. And it was chucking it down with rain. It was at Milton Keynes. And they went off to their car, and I suddenly realised I couldn't remember where I parked, and it was chucking it down with rain.
And see if anywhere it.
Hell of a bump,
That's
wasn't it?
fine. Yeah, well...
Is that great?
And she kept phoning up saying, "Have you found your car yet?" I said, "No." "Do you want me? Let me come back and help you." And I went.
It's just on the side, you know?
That's a bit rough.
Okay, I'm okay.
Is that great?
It's just on the side, you know?
That's a bit rough.
"Do you want me to come and help you find your car?"
Yeah, I'm okay. It's okay.
I think you can get cleaned up. Go to the first aid post. Take it easy.
Now this is proper. I bet, is he a commissionaire? He wouldn't be a commissionaire, but he's somebody, isn't he?
All right, yes, sir.
I told you, I'm going to name drop big names. I was friends with Eddie Large. I encouraged him to do his first show in years. And he died during COVID. And there was, and I became friends with his wife and his son. there was an unveiling of a portrait of him, Blackpool, is it the Pavilion, Winter Garden, something like that. And me and Catherine went up there. And it was beautiful. Tommy Cannon came over to me and said, "Hey, Iain, how you doing?" And me and Tommy and his wife were chatting. And he said, "Me and Bobby, we had 8 weeks where we had the biggest gross or biggest number of tickets ever, and there's nothing here to remember us. What do I have to do to get like a plaque or a statue?" And I said, "Well, you know what you have to do, Tom. You have to die. That's the only time people like you get the recognition you deserve." And he started talking about Bobby, and he was crying. Anyway, some people were getting up and making a speech, and Roy Walker got up, and all he did was talk about his daughter. Didn't mention anyone's. Anyway, inside where we were having some food, me and Kath talking to Linda Lusardi and her husband Sam, who used to be in Brookside. There's a knock on the window. We turn round. Kevin Keegan's there waving at us.
Well, luckily Keegan looks to be all right. He's making little of it, but it really are bad grazes across his...
It really are bad grazes.
Well, luckily Keegan looks to be all right. He's making little of it, but it really are bad grazes.
It really are bad What happened? It really are bad grazes.
Across his back, he's going in for a bit of...
I've just realised I've titled this Iain Lee the Superstar, and we're watching Superstar Challenge. I didn't plan that.
Treatment. He seemed to come up, he seemed to start wobbling right from the very start. When he put the pressure on, here it comes. The wobble's on there. Van Vinst is coming up. Van Vinst comes across to the corner, and there's the touch.
Van Vinst. I blame Van Vinst. Van Vinst.
And there he goes, 4-5 yards, dust and dirt in his skin.
Kevin, that looked a bit unpleasant and very painful.
Well, probably looked worse than it was, but I just lay still for...
Show us your back. Show us your back. It really are bad grazes is a computer game show episode title.
For me, trying to feel what was broken or something, but I'm fine.
Nothing broken.
Just, well, a bit grazed, but
whoa!
No harm done. It was just a...
Whoa! He's been a very brave soul.
Complete accident, and...
How do you think it happened?
Well, it's a race really for this corner. I think whoever gets in that corner's got a good chance of winning.
Is that Ron Pickering? Looking like an absolute geezer. I'd have that shirt.
I had the inside lane, and Gilbert was half a bike up on me when he come across, and unfortunately, if it had been a full bike up, he'd have missed me. But I was trying to keep the inside lane, which I thought would be the best, and caught his back. Well, just an accident, you know. I couldn't really go anywhere else.
Oh, Coleman. Sorry, that's what I meant. Coleman.
Brake and move out of the way, and I wasn't prepared to brake. So got the graze instead.
Fucking say to this bloke, Shaggy.
You had a tremendous wobble on coming up the straight at this.
Well, if you're going to be riding a bike and you got a wobble on, it does make it difficult.
Yeah, I thought my wheels were loose. I don't know whether they were or not. I just felt as if they were a bit loose.
You think you've been putting a bit too much pressure on? You're out of the saddle and pumping a bit hard.
I was, yeah.
Get out of the saddle. He was out of the saddle, pumping a bit hard while he had a wobble on.
Oh, probably why I was riding a bike, because I'm more used to a car than a bike, so probably stick to one by now.
But you've had the treatment. You think you're okay?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm okay. Yeah, it's a bit sore, but a couple of days. You know, nothing worse than you get. Well,
nowadays that body would be considered not fit. Because you've got to be hench, isn't it?
It may look bad, but I don't think there's much wrong.
This will have to be the end of your being in Superstars for this tournament.
Well, I might do the
steeplechase.
I might do the steeplechase.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Maybe we'll watch an episode of Superstar. Let's see. Well, no, because I don't want to do this again. All right.
Well, Brian, these days the world knows of your sporting talents, but you've another talent known only to your closest family. For the hands that hurl opponents all over the judo mat are also very artistic. Now, I didn't even know that until recently. You do quite a bit of drawing, don't you?
Yes. We're going to see Brian Jacks's drawings. Now, are they going to be shite? Are they going to be arguing in the chat about what they smell of? Is it Old Spice or is it Brute? Place your bets. Oh, please let them be terrible, please.
Very good drawing it is too. Let me show you some.
All right. I don't know if I can take this off. bad, is it? All my pictures are now hung up with those, you know, the Velcro grippers. I hate them. Hooks. You couldn't see anything then, could you? No. If I could give any advice to younger self, it would be use hooks to put pictures up, not the Velcro grippers. That's my advice.
For instances, here's a drawing of yours, a cat. Isn't that lovely? Another one.
Yeah, people hear the excitement.
It is time to show you some for instances. Here's a drawing of yours, a cat.
It's a drawing of yours of a cat.
Isn't that lovely? Another one of a horse.
What's going on there?
And here's one more. Very romantic, this one. It's a kiss.
If that's how he's kissing, he's doing it wrong. Listen again, the audience.
And here's one more. Very romantic, this one. It's a kiss. Brian, who is kissing whom?
It's my wife.
Yeah. And you, of course. And of course she's here for an action replay. Your wife, Julie.
This is before she went to college. Maybe they don't even... No, they'd have kids by now. Right. That is such a 70s look. And my God, it's fantastic. That long hair. What a great look.
Well, Julie, it seems like this tough guy here is an old romantic.
Honestly, that just reminds me of some of the mums when I was at nursery and stuff. What a great look.
Take it hard.
Well, I didn't think so when I first met him.
Hang on, what did you say? Take it hard.
Like this tough guy here is an old romantic at heart.
Well, I didn't think so when I first met him. Well, I met him in a Wimpy bar in Catford.
Oh, yes! Oh, yes! When they were called Wimpy bars. Not Wimpy, because there's a Wimpy in Aylesbury. Wimpy bars. Gatford! Met him in a Wimpy bar. Right, calling it Wimpy bar from now on. He had a big bend. They've changed the name of Big Benders in a Bun. Have you seen that? Wimpy menu. They don't call it Big Bender in a Bun anymore. Literally because of woke. Classic plates. What do they call it? Don't want a wrap. Who's going to get a wrap from a Wimpy bar? Who's going to get a wrap from a Wimpy bar? Why can't I see what they now call a Big Bender? Oh, they call it Big and Mighty. Look at that. Big and Mighty. No, man, that's a Big Bender in a Bun. Wimpy Wednesday. Every Wednesday, our customers can enjoy one of our 4 familiar Wimpy burgers or a chicken wrap with Wimpy chips and any fruit juice, sparkling hot. Yeah. Right, well, no, Georgie, you don't have a Wimpy in Felix, so you have a Wimpy bar. No, Dave, you don't have a Wendy's in Reading, you have a Wendy bar. Gatford's been to that Wimpy.
And he walked in and he winked at me, so I winked back.
The 70s were wild. The 70s were wild. That's how you could meet your wife. In a Wimpy bar, winking at a lady. Oh, man.
And he immediately threw his phone number across the table to me.
Oh, my God, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. You've got to call it a Wimpy bar. It's a Wimpy bar. Going to the Wimpy bar.
And I threw it back and I said, well...
Hey, you. We're having a Wimpy.
You know, if you want me, you'll have to ring me.
I want you. I'm going to ring you.
Anyway, found out my phone number and
How?
he rang me the very next day and I refused to go out with him.
No, Gatford, his number wouldn't have started 081. It would have been 01 back then, wouldn't it? Yeah, it'd have been 01. So we had 01, 081, 071, 0181, 0208.
So he rang you again?
Well, he rang me every day for 3 weeks after that. And finally decided to go out with him just to stop the phone calls.
I'm just trying to get what I want, you know.
Well, clearly, Brian, your determination isn't confined to the sports arena, but I just want to mention your competitive spirit here again for a second because of the remarkable loyalty it inspires in your dedicated supporters. You were by no means alone, for instance, in Tel Aviv when you were about to take the European Superstar title for the second time.
Oh, maybe Superstars is a worldwide thing then. Research will be done. Maybe we just watch Brian Jacks as a series. I miss those plastic sun visors. I miss those. All right, geez, this is Mum and Dad, isn't it?
So keen are your supporters, Brian, that many of them travel around the world for you.
Maybe it's not.
The heart of that travelling band of the Brian Jacks fan club is in London's East End.
BJFC.
And if you look at that screen, Brian, I'm going to hail them now. Taxi! And the first cabbie, of course, your father, Albert.
Hello, Eamon. Hello, Brian. I have a few more people who would like to say hello to you. Hi, Brian!
I bet his dad is young. No, his dad won't be younger than me now. Yeah, let's not see your face. Let's not see their faces. Oh, they're going to use them to fill up all the seats because there aren't enough people, aren't they? That's what they're going to do.
You know, we've followed you all through England, Europe, in fact, all around the world. And people often see such a big group as this, turn around and say, what are you, relations or something? And I turn around and say, yes, we are one big happy family. As you know, most of your uncles drive a London cab, and tonight we're taking no fares. Wagon, roll!
And here they come, your father...
And they're also paying no tax.
Albert and Mother Lillian.
That's nice. That is nice. All cynicism to one side. That's nice. Very, very brown there, isn't it? I mean, in terms of clothing, certainly not in terms of faces.
Your dad is one of 7 children, your mother one of 11.
Mate, it must be. I remember the set being orangey, so maybe it's faded.
So wait for it, the greatest one-man fan club.
All right, Brian. Sorry I can't be with you tonight, but I'm in Hastings in Cinderella. Just want to say you've always been a great mate to me, and the next time I'm going to beat you in a judo fight. Have a great night, mate.
Club and sport. Your Uncle Alfred and Eileen. Uncle
Brown.
Ryan and Helen.
Brown.
Uncle Bill
Grey.
and Ivy.
Grey. Oh, we're getting some greys and blacks.
Aunt Esther. Uncle George. Aunt Nell. Uncle Flo.
Everyone's got to have an Uncle George, right?
Aunt Florrie. Uncle Charles. Uncle Sid and Catherine.
Oh, she wasn't crying. She was having a little wipe of her nose with a tissue that was no doubt stored up her sleeve.
Uncle Charles. Uncle...
George says, how would you have felt if they'd have done you on This Is Your Life? I would have had the time. Oh, of course I would have felt an imposter. I would have had the absolute time of my life. Loved it.
Sid and Catherine. Uncle Ron. Aunt Doreen. Uncle Len.
Aunt Doreen's gone for it, man.
Uncle Harry. Aunt Vera. Uncle...
Oh, they're going in the reserve seats. All right, so they're not filling up the stage. Okay, that's good.
Aunt Doreen.
I think we had 2 Doreens there. I'm going to put the heat. Here's what I'm going to do because I'm so generous. I'm going to put the heating on because I've got visitors coming. If it was just me, I wouldn't put the heating on. It's not just me. It's others. It's other people. And I'm a friendly kind of guy. So I'm going to put the heating around 15.8. Thermostat doesn't really. I'm going to go up to 17. I got similar hair to that guy there. Look. Got similar hair. You know, it stinks of Rothmans. I'm going to bloody murder them.
I was with most of them last night.
All I can say is I'm glad I'm not looking for a cab right now in London. Born into this great family on October the 6th, 1946, when the family home was at 124 White Horse Road, Stepney. And Lillian, though he looks healthy enough here, in fact, that was far from the case then.
Yes, he was a little weed, really he was.
A little weedle, a little weed.
All the baby illnesses he got, but he had to have a little bit more. He had a top hernia. It took me 8 years to find out what it was. They took him in, gave him a month's operation, and after that he came home a different child.
Literally a different child. We have no idea where our Brian went.
Well, but those constant illnesses that really did take their toll on young Brian, didn't they?
They certainly did. I mean, looking at him now, you'd never think he was a weed as a child. But I was determined to get him built up because the...
Is his wife the most beautiful woman in the world? I think she might
area
be.
we come from is a little bit tough, like, and you have to look after yourself. So I was determined to get him...
The Crays, the Richardsons.
In top condition, and I took him along to my judo club that I joined because I drive a cab around Saturday night in London, and took him along there to teach him properly.
Well, thanks to your dad, you took to judo instantly. We were
Judo.
here, taking a bit later on, of you showing
That's
someone
good.
just how much
That's-
you've learned.
that's a great
Who's that
picture.
in the picture with you?
That's my father.
Going over your shoulder, yeah.
That's a great picture.
Now, Dave Boy Green, you and, Brian and his dad and so on gave you some help when, due to illness, a couple of years ago, Brian had to drop out of the World Superstars and you took his place.
That's correct, Eamon. That's when I became one of the fantastic Jacks's family, when Brian and his brother Shane and his father gave me a lot of tuition for the World Superstars.
Good for you.
And I think, this just shows you what sort of a fella he is. He wanted me to do as well as what he did, what he would have done if he'd have went to the World Superstars. And I'd like to say about his mother,
Oh, he's
she's a
nervous,
real
look.
knockout for the grub.
He's nervous, poor lad.
I think I'd have finished up in heavyweight.
She does look like a 70s Bond girl. She looks a bit like, a bit Jane Seymour-ish. And is it Barbara Bach, Ringo's wife, in one of them?
And school days are at Forest Hill Comprehensive School, where the now by no means weedy youngster boxes for the school and is selected to play rugby for South East England schools. But even in those
I've got to feed Swavey the snake.
days, the age of only 12, there was that other side, the artistic side to your
Come up here,
character.
darling. This is lucky. You don't get to... Oh, she's gone.
In fact, Albert, when he wasn't in the gym or on the sports field, he was still on the move, wasn't he?
He used to go...
Let's get some famous people in. I want some famous people in.
Art galleries and museums. That was his pastime, actually.
And he always went with this great school pal, did he?
He always had a great school pal with him.
Well, it's been a long time since you were last together with that fellow.
More than 20 years now, Brian.
Oh, they played the tape too early.
Great school pal with him.
Listen.
Well, it's been a long time since you were last together with that fellow.
More than 20
They played the tape too early. And it's not a famous person.
years now, Brian, since I went to live in Australia.
But not in Australia tonight, because we've flown him the 14,000 miles from Melbourne to meet you again after 20 years. Your old school days pal, Don Pope.
Popey! Popey's dressed up. We got a bit of colour. We got pastel blue. We got the shirts at the collar outside of the jacket. Popey. Absolute Australian geezer. Yes, mate.
Don, when we contacted you in...
If a friend of mine from 20 years ago came up, I'd be like, do I know it? Is it? We know. Catherine wouldn't know because she didn't go to school. Mate, Catherine, I don't know. It's nice to see you, mate. How you been? And nothing to say and wouldn't recognise them.
Melbourne, the first thing you mentioned were those art gallery trips.
Tonight, I feel like making love to you. This is when, I've tried this. This is when the beard grew, right? He's trimmed it under his neck, but they didn't used to trim it here. The Carl Wilson effect, I call it. And every time I grow a beard, and this is a beard, not stubble, I'd start with it, but I'd then end up, but when you go to the barbers, they do it low, a very definite cut, and I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, well, you know, going back in those days, the things I can really remember about Brian was...
he was a bastard.
I remember going to watch him train at his judo club in Vauxhall, and during our school holidays, we used to jump on a bus and go around...
Red Rover ticket.
And go around the museum.
This is genuinely nice. This is genuinely nice.
And even, you know, back in those days, I think his favourite one was the War Museum. You know, he was always pretty keen on fighting, the old Brian.
What happened when you went to Australia?
Oh, well, as soon as I got to Australia, I wrote to Brian. You know, it was one of the first things I
Didn't
did.
write back.
And what's more, he's kept the letter, and one of the things you...
He's kept the letter! He's kept the letter.
wrote to Brian Don was, quote...
Airmail was weird back then. Letters had to be so light. It was like you were writing on tissue paper. They had to be... I can't believe a normal bit of paper versus tissue paper. There can't be that much difference in cost, could there?
The day we moved into our new home was your birthday. By the way, many happy returns. And the date on that letter was the 4th of November 1960.
Yeah, well, it certainly doesn't seem like 20 years, Brian. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, congratulations, mate. You've done pretty good seeing as you're a pom.
Seeing as you're a pom, you're a pom. You're a pom.
Thank you, John Paul.
Look, I think just... He hate... Look.
You've done pretty good seeing as you're a pom.
Fuck you.
Thank you, John Paul.
Get up. Did dox him, you're right.
Well, Barbara, of course, you'd early experience of your brother Brian's enthusiasm for painting.
Yes, quite earlier on.
Stevie Nicks. Stevie Jacks. It's Stevie Jacks.
When we moved into a house many years ago, I think Brian was about 3 and I was about 6 months old. I don't really remember it. My parents had told me so many times. And he decided to start his career then. We had the painters in and he decided to do some painting of his own. He first of all started with the carpet, then the curtains, and then his Jeep and his bicycle. Then he decided to start on me, through the cot, I might add. And he
That's when paint had proper lead in it.
painted me a beautiful pea green colour. And that's when it all started with his painting.
Now, Aunt Doreen in the front row there. Where's Aunt Doreen? There you are, yes. Well, and just a year later, Brian was, I believe, page boy at your wedding when he was only 3 years old.
Yes, Eamon. Brian was all dressed up in his top hat, walking stick. Everybody was lined up to have their photographs taken.
What's going on here? What's this?
Brian's missing.
Board.
Finally, we discovered
Board.
he was doing the coronation in his top hat.
Board.
But he did empty it before he put it back on.
Ah, look at that. That's a great picture.
Very sensible of him, indeed. Well, later on, both Barbara and Shane here went along to judo classes, and Shane, Brian's example...
Oh, please, can we have someone famous? I'm dying here.
...must be quite something to follow in the sporting scene.
That's right, Eamon, it is. But I do my best. But one example I've learnt from him is, as a youngster, he did a lot of sports and come around on the way to the hospital.
Judo expertise brings you to the opportunity at the age of 15 to study and train in judo at the very heart of the ancient art in Tokyo. The invitation comes through the London Judo Society because the Japanese have asked for the best youngster it's got. But of course it's going to cost money. So Lillian, what did you have to do?
Well, it was a hard struggle, but he always got his own way. We granted him his wish. Daddy just bought a new car, £240. So...
He sold the new car.
Pardon?
He sold the new car.
He sold the new car.
Well, now, and this was to get your air ticket, and you took a job yourself, didn't you?
I took a job myself as a lady chef with BIC.
Flew in from Miami, baby. Flew in from Miami. How does it go? BOAC. Flew in from Miami. BOA. That's not the words, is it? Is it by flew in from Miami by BOAC? There's not a by in there. Let's find out what the words are. Flew in from Miami by Flew in from Miami Beach BOAC. Beach, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was the thing. Flew in from Miami Beach BOAC.
Daddy sold the car. We got Brian's air ticket and he got
And we
his
have a
wish.
picture of the air ticket because you've kept it there. That's the air ticket to Tokyo that your mother kept to this day. But it says £242. That's £2 short, Albert. Where do the
Hang on a minute. That's a fortune, right?
other two come from?
We saved that up.
Dad, I need $7,500. Can you sell your car? No. He hasn't got any famous mates.
So you're off to Tokyo, but working out at daily math out with the fruit, earn money for a good deal, where the customer should have about your center at a snack bar in a tough district of Tokyo,
This could get a little bit spicy.
where the customers weren't always appreciative about your service. Oh, no. I've no idea what that means, but to tell us the only other British youngster with you on that judo course in Tokyo...
Please don't do the eyes. Please don't do the eyes. Please don't do the eyes. I'm saying that because I saw a picture today of Paul McCartney and Linda McCartney doing the eyes.
Years ago, yes, your old pal, Bobby Bolton.
Bobby's gonna do the voice. He looks like Prince Edward in disguise. He's gonna do the voice.
Bobby, roughly, what did you say there?
Well, that was Brian's ice cream. It tastes bloody awful.
Well, did he get many complaints from the customers?
No, he's really quite good, you know, but occasionally when we did have a problem, he'd just stroll across and...
Although saying that about doing the voice, I remember being in Tower Records years ago in Tokyo, and I was looking for the Pizzicato 5, who were a Japanese band. And I can't remember what the sentence was. Do you have any Pizzicato 5 CDs? I can't remember the sentence, but it would end with Pizzicato 5 CD. And the young woman didn't understand it. So I thought, I'm sorry, in for a penny, I'll do the voice. And I did the voice, Pizzicato 5 CD. I did the voice and she got it. So why are you accusing this guy of being a racist? It's like if you go to France. Parlez-vous français? Parlez-vous français, monsieur?
Pour a bucket of water over him just to keep him quiet.
Really? Yeah. Thank you very much.
Great story. Story didn't quite hit as much as we hoped it would. Go and sit down. There's a lot of chairs there. It's got to be the British judo team that fills those chairs.
Must have been a very posh place you were working in.
It weren't very posh at all, I'm afraid. But it was money at that particular time.
And
Bob
wet.
and I used to live on a bar of chocolate every couple of days because the Japanese food weren't so good.
Racist.
Well, after 2 years in Japan, good or not, you returned to Britain in 1963 a judo black belt. And already good enough at the age of 17 to be brought into the Great Britain team.
Name as well. Remember, we called you Lena.
Yes, Garage owner and ex-cabbie also.
Fucking cabbies.
Although you're the baby of the judo team, you're the only member
That's
of
a
the
great
British squad
picture.
actually to win a match.
It's a great
By the
picture.
1972 Olympics in Munich, you're made team captain and take the bronze. And here tonight, Olympic colleagues from Tokyo and Munich, those
Oh, this
great
is so
friends of
boring.
yours, Tony Sweeney.
What you should do, right, is everyone that comes out shakes it. Phoom, phoom, phoom. No, just me on that. Gatford, how many people are watching this? If this hasn't got 1,000 viewers, then I don't know what good is.
Sydney Hall.
Sydney, what? Excuse me?
And Munich, those Alan Petherbridge. Sydney Hall.
Yep, Sydney Hall.
Eddie Mullen. Robbie Sullivan. Silver medalists Keith Renfrey and Dave Starbrook.
Absolute units. Absolute units, those two. Look. Look like Fergal Sharkey, that last one. Oh, it's boring now.
But Julie, before that, the Olympic bronze.
5 minutes left, not one celebrity. Nearly $7,000 that 240 is.
Medal winner had a
Wow.
touch of gold to present to you.
Yes, Eamon, I proposed him when he came back and he accepted.
What? It doesn't count if the woman does it. The man has to do it. It doesn't count. The woman does it.
This was my gold I got from him.
Ah. Zero, I'm having a great Sunday. We're watching Brian Jack's This Is Your Life.
Pure gold, and very nice it is too. And there you are at your wedding at Caxton Hall on November the 4th, 1972.
Caxton Hall, been there.
But Brian, just before we close, I'd like to take you back 16 years.
Not one famous person. Not one!
To the crucial bout you fought to get into the Great Britain Olympic team, a bout which Lillian reduced you to tears.
Well, I was really. It was a hard bout. It dwindled down to 2 left. 1 was to go. Brian fought very hard.
What?
And I was praying that he would win, but I felt very, very sorry for the fella that lost. I really felt sorry, and I had a good cry. I really cried.
Well, it was a very narrow win, but
He's pissing himself, Eamon.
it was a win. And 10 years ago, Brian, that great pal of yours that made your mother tonight. Title bout that Lillian was talking about for Olympic selection. You put in some special training with a judo club member who made the most good for one.
Come down. Crikey, the ice cream man.
Wilson to exact revenge on your behalf.
Crikey, the ice cream man.
Hello, Brian.
Those eyebrows are something else, right?
Recognise the slimline lock? I've come down from 22 stone to 19.
Good for you, lad. Well done. Well done.
Yes, you're 18 months
What? All right, that was genuinely funny.
Better than to tangle with a jack.
Those eyebrows, man. And is that a moustache? Yes, it is.
Get recovered in time to be here, your old pal Tony Wilson and that future champ.
Well, now we know that kid knows the difference between above and below. If you've just tuned in, that won't mean anything. That's it. That's it. Not one celebrity apart from Blessed. I enjoyed that.